Hey there. Welcome to In the Kitchen with Bubby. This YouTube channel is going to be dedicated to my love of cooking and hopefully introduce you to the love of cooking as well. Sadly, at some point in time, someone decided we should no longer teach home economics in our school. So we have several generations of people that never learned how to cook properly. I think, quite frankly, and you will find I am not very PC, that it is one of the reasons why we have an obesity epidemic among children in our country. We eat out way too many meals, and we don't know how to cook healthy, nutritious meals in our kitchen. But I digress a little bit. Let me go back and introduce myself. My name is Cheryl Garrett, aka Bubby. Where did the Bubby come from? Well, when your daughter makes you a grandma, long before you're really ready, the rule, unwritten of course, is you get to pick your own name. And I didn't fancy myself a Nana or a Grandma or a Mimi. I always liked the name Bubby. Probably number 2 would have been Nonna, which is Italian for grandma. But now, more than just the 8 grandkids, whom I'm sure you'll meet over the next few videos, everyone calls me Bubby. My husband calls me Bubby, my children, if the dog could talk, the dog would call me Bubby. So I'm Bubby pretty much to everyone now. But in Bubby's Kitchen is going to go step by step some of the essential skills and equipment that you need. I'm going to start today with real basics. Call it Kitchen 101, whatever you want. I am going to go over measuring. Cute movie out that I absolutely love was the movie Julie and Julia, about Julia Child. And at one point in the movie, Julia is challenged by one of her co-authors that measuring doesn't matter. And Julia responds, "It does, it absolutely does." Well, I agree with Julia on that, especially when it comes to the baking end of cooking. You can get by with a little of this, a little of that when you're cooking a stew or you're making a casserole. Baking is a lot more about chemistry than it is about cooking. You have to have the right proportions of salt, flour, baking soda, baking powder, things that are called leavening agents that make your cakes rise or your bread rise. And if those chemical proportions are off, you will not get the desired result. But let me digress one more time. If you see me tripping while we're doing this video, it's probably because there's an adorable Labradoodle named Lucy, whose favorite place in the whole world is somewhere near being under my feet. So hopefully Lucy will stay out of the way and we can get through this. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. There are 2 kinds of measuring that you're going to need to do in the kitchen. You're going to be measuring dry ingredients. You're going to be measuring wet ingredients. Dry ingredients, your flours, your baking powder, your baking soda, oats for cookies, sugar, things like that. Anything that has a dry consistency. These are dry measuring cups. They come generally in 1/4 cup, 1/3 cup, 1/2 cup, and 1 cup. They are meant to be leveled. They are not meant necessarily to be scooped. What's the difference? Well, in certain ingredients that pack easily, like flour, scooping versus spooning into your measuring cup will give you a very different measurement. I'm not going to get terribly deep into that at this point, except to say that it does matter and it can make a difference, again, back to when you're baking. These are liquid measuring cups. They are meant to be viewed at eye level so that when you pour your liquid in, you eyeball it, make sure it's up to the line. They're generally go in any size. This is a 1 cup. I have a 2 cup, This one goes up to 8 cups. I use this one frequently for measuring all kinds of things. There's also a new kind out, which is nice, that is graduated, so then there's a lip on the inside. So instead of having to level like this to view whether you are accurate in your measurement, you can look down. I'm going to hold this up so you can see the inside where that lip is. And that is where the measurements, this one goes up to 4 cups. I use this thing constantly. Another wonderful tool for measuring in the kitchen is a digital scale. This one happens to be from OXO. By the way, you will from time to time hear me mention brand names. Again, remember, I am not politically correct. Nobody pays me, trust me. You can tell that by the balance in my checking account. But when I find a product that I like, that works well, that it's at a fair price, I'm more than happy to tell you the name of it so you can go get one. This one was a Christmas gift from my husband. It's from OXO. It measures in pounds and ounces, or it measures in grams and kilos. So you can take a recipe from the continent over there across the pond and convert it. Also, this one has a removable dial. So if you're measuring or weighing a turkey, say, you can pull this out and see the dial around a large ingredient. Another factor that's really nice on this is the zero. Maybe I want to weigh out my flour for pasta. I know I need 700 grams of flour. Well, I don't want it falling all over the place. So I'm going to put a container on this. And just for lack of another one here, we'll put that measuring cup on. And I'm going to hit the zero. It takes the weight of the container off. Now the only thing it's measuring is whatever I put in the container. So that's a very, very nice feature, and I use it constantly. I use the scale almost all the time when I'm baking, when I'm making pasta, because again, I'm going to get a lot more accurate measurement. Let's do a little experiment with that. And for now, I'm going to put this measuring cup on my scale, and I'm going to measure, it's in kilograms, so it'll tell me how many grams of flour. That's fine. I've zeroed out. I'm going to scoop a cup of flour. Now, when you measure, whether you scoop or whether you ladle, you want a level measuring. I use a little small spatula and I flatten the top. That gives me a level cup. I'm going to pour that in my container, and that weighs 140 grams. I'm going to put it back in the container, and now I'm going to use the scooping method, and I do that lightly, and I sprinkle my flour into my cup. And again, I'm going to level it off with my spatula. We still have a cup, leveled the same way. Let's see how much it weighs. That cup of flour only weighs 119 grams. Big difference, over 11 grams difference. Now that might not seem like a lot. A gram's a relatively small unit of measurement or weight, but it can make a big difference in the density of breads, the density of cakes, the density of your pasta. So if you're going to measure using a measuring cup instead of weight, you want to spoon in lightly and then level versus scooping. Yes, I see Jada, I see a lot of people scooping. Scooping is fine if you're measuring granulated sugar because it doesn't pack. But flour, because it's light and fluffy, tends to pack when you scoop. So that's the reason for the difference in weight. And our last little tool for measuring is good, accurate measuring spoons. These are real nice stainless steel ones. I tend to like that because they don't bend, they don't break, they don't get all funky in the dishwasher. And I've had this pack was from Williams Sonoma. I've had it literally for years. Most of them come in a tablespoon. Remember, tablespoon in a recipe is either written as a capital T or the abbreviation TBSP. Then there's a teaspoon, small or lowercase t, or TSP. And then you have a half teaspoon, a quarter teaspoon, and this set even has an eighth teaspoon. Again, when I'm measuring with these, I use my spatula and I level, especially if I'm measuring things like yeast, salt for baking, things like that. I want my measurements to be as exact or as accurate as possible. So I hope this helps you with getting good basic measuring tools. These are the keys to success in your kitchen. Thank you for watching In the Kitchen with Bubby. I hope you'll go below this video and subscribe to my channel. I will be setting up a Facebook page where in the future you will be able to get menus, recipes, tips. One of the things I'm working on for you right now is a good comprehensive pantry inventory so that you know what you should be keeping on hand in your kitchen so you can prepare a tasty meal at almost any time. Have a great day and ciao. Bye-bye.